bring that into the show because I don't know what you think, but he was saying that, you know, Idrissa Gueye from PSG on loan for 18 months would be a very good move for Manchester United. And I don't know about the availability of Idrissa Gueye. There was talk about Herrera. I mean, I'd take Ander Herrera now, wouldn't you? For 5 months, I'd take Ander Herrera. Like, there's the disappointing thing from United's point of view about this January transfer window is that there was plenty of options for United to do things. If we can't get any... I watched the 2017 EFL Cup final earlier, and I can't believe how the board just let Herrera walk out the door. Very underrated player, says Mason Reed. Mate, you know what? That, for me, is probably one of the most underrated mistakes we made. Ander Herrera was never a world beater, but he's been gone a few years now. I've seen him play for PSG a couple of times this season, and he'd still be the best midfielder we've got in that engine room area. We let him walk out the door for free. He loved the club. The fans loved him. I think you've absolutely nailed it. It doesn't get mentioned enough. That is one of the biggest mistakes United have made. Is it as big as Pogba walking out the door for free this summer? No, I mean, Pogba's a better player than Herrera. He's a more high-profile player. But sometimes the high-profile, better player is not as important to the team. And I think Herrera was so important to that team. And the way we let him walk out the door is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Straight away off the top of my head, I can think of a few. We either offered the most money we either offered the most money in a transfer fee, or we offered the most money in wages. I don't think there's many people in that team that are United through and through. Ander Herrera had no Man United background, but he was always United through and through. You could see it. Patrice Evra was United through and through. Vidic, United through and through. They didn't come to the club United through and through, but they became United through and through. Some of these players have come to United for money, and they've never fallen in love with the club, and you can see it. You can see it. I think that, I mean, it's just a very South American way. I really do. You think about Heinze, Tevez, these sort of players. They just approach football in a very different way, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, everybody's got different culture. It's about the culture. Everybody's got different culture. And with Martinez, we've just got this thing that we've had in the past with players who are not English players, who come from other countries, and probably don't know a lot about Manchester United, but completely fall in love with the club, and we embrace them. And Herrera was like it as well. Martinez is just something else. He's just absolutely something else. And it's not like Victor Lindelof or Harry Maguire could wake up this morning and go, I'm going to copy what Martinez does, because it would come across as fake. And there's nothing wrong with it if you can't do it, because not many people do do it. It's just this thing. It's just a natural thing. We've seen it with players in the past. They just have that desire and aggression and passion in them. And it's amazing to see. And look, part of me even felt sorry for Jorginho for a bit because it was 2-on-1. But then I thought, you know what? I don't feel sorry for Jorginho. We've all played football. Martinez off the pitch is apparently a really nice guy. But it's a lesson in competitive sport. When you cross the line and the whistle goes, it's a competition. You don't have to shake hands with people, break friends, never make friends and all that crap. It's a competition, and you can see it in Martinez that it doesn't matter whether he's playing a teammate that he knows from a previous club or his national team. It's on, and it's great to have that sort of character in Manchester United. And I think Anthony's got it. I think Casemiro's got it. I think there's a few players that have got it now, and it's great to see because we haven't had that. We didn't have that last season. We had people like McTominay who'd be a bit passionate and start, pushing people, but it's not the same. McTominay's passion is not the same as Martinez. It's a very different thing, and we don't need everybody to do it anyway. You only need one or two in the team who do it, and everyone else can respond to it. Maybe the video of that going round. I mean, he just gets it. He resonates with the fan base home and away so much. He's not a Man United fan. He's not from the youth team. And these sort of players reflect to me why sometimes our obsession with young players and youth players, that's what we are. That's what Manchester United's about. But it doesn't mean that you can't bring a player into this club who's got nothing to do with the club, who can be better than anything that is. I mean, Sir Alex Ferguson had no touch point with Man United and became our greatest ever manager. We've had people like this in the past, Patrice Evra, Nemanja Vidic, Ander Herrera. In recent times, you can go back a lot further than that with people like Roy Keane and Paul Ince and Steve Bruce and many others who aren't Manchester United youth products. And aren't even Manchester United fans, but they get bought to the club and they instantly have this attachment to the club, this passion that burns inside them, that they'll do anything for the club, and the fans just latch onto that, and this relationship is born in a very short period of time. It takes years to have what Martinez has at the moment, and he's done it in weeks. He's just completely and utterly, his personality just jumps out at you, and I don't think it's by design, it's just who he is. Ajax fans loved him. I've spoken to European lad about this and other Ajax fans, and the reason they were so gutted to lose him is because he had that relationship with Ajax that he's now got with Man United fans. And if he leaves Man United to go to Real Madrid will have the same thing. The guy just is that person, and when he puts the shirt on, he becomes that shirt. He becomes that identifiable player on the pitch that fans want. They want to see in a player what they are: passion, desire, never say die, and talent. And Martinez just reflects that. So consistent, remarkable really for a brand new signing coming from the Eredivisie, where not a lot of people knew a lot about him. And let's be honest, so many people knew so little about him that they were saying he'd be too small, etc. So he didn't come in with a big reputation, but he's definitely got one now, and he's been absolutely fantastic. Which means, again, this week's number one, I think it's 3 weeks at number one now, and he just can't be toppled. His name's summon everything they can. You know, I heard Ander Herrera talking about how at the Etihad, Man City were 2-0 up at half-time, and the story came into the half-time dressing room that they had the T-shirts ready for the title because they were going to win the title if they beat us, and we went out and we won 3-2. We've got to find some way to get these players up for it, inspired, and give absolutely everything. Man City are not machines. They might be. Most of you people who want to replace De Gea would have appreciated him better in the last few months if you knew he was going in the summer. He'd have got the send-off he deserves. He did win the Golden Glove, and people would have been, it's fine. You know, he's been a great servant to the club. We've actually had a good season defensively, but we need to move on. He's going to move on, and you know, David De Gea knows he's going to move on, and that was the way to do it. I'm appalled. I'm not even that bothered that we, you know, if you bring an Arna in, like I say, I think he's amazing. I think he's so interesting to watch. So I'm at that point now where, look, if it happens, it happens. That's football. But the way we've done it leaves a terrible taste in the mouth. And I go back to Jesse Lingard, Ander Herrera, Patrice Evra. The way we let players leave this football club who deserve to be treated better is disgusting. And I don't know what Ten Hag's role in this is, but I don't like it. I genuinely don't like it. David De Gea wants to sign the new contract. He wants to stay at United. He's been a fantastic player and servant to this club. Nobody's got a divine right to stay at the club. So look, he wants to stay. We know that. But no one's got a divine right. You can be moved on. Look at how we treated Van Persie. But there is a line of respect. Like, you should not leave a player of that status hanging on a week from the end of the bloody transfer. You know, a week from the end of his contract. It's not a good way to be. It's not a good way to be. And United's silence is really amateur. Like, they should have planned this a lot better. They should have treated De Gea a lot better. They should have treated us a lot better. And I just think, I get it. I think some fans are just like, I don't really care. I just want De Gea to go. And I get that. You know, some people are like Real Madrid fans. It's a shiny new toy. Fuck the legends. You know, some people are like that. I get that. But for me, and I think some people will agree, as a football club, it's all we've got. You know, whether Alfani's in charge or Sir Jim or the Glazers, we are Manchester United. And the fans are what Man United's all about. We're not the CEO, not the manager. The relationship was breaking down, and credit to him, he fought back. And you know, no one would sell Rashford now. Somebody said to me, "What about Rooney? You said you wanted him gone." I did. Rooney's a legend of this club. I wanted him gone. That was my opinion at the time. Many of you might agree with that. Many of you might agree that David De Gea is a legend of the club, and it's time to go. It's in. You know, I'm not a robot. Every player is different. I don't think it's time for De Gea to go. Many of you do. I thought it was time for Rooney to go. Most of you agreed. Rooney's still a legend, still respectful when he went. I was like, you know, it's time to go. You know, he's not been good enough for the last couple of years. It's time to go. So
look, you earn respect. Rooney was a legend. I really liked Ander Herrera. Don't think he was respected. Van Persie, I think he was fantastic. Wasn't respected. You earn respect. You don't just get respect because you're a Man United player. That's not the way it works. And that's the situation. Now, if Maguire's happy at Man United and loves the club, that's all fine and well. David De Gea did as well, but he's not here anymore. Ander Herrera did. He's not here anymore. Just because you're happy and you love the club, this is professional football. Footballers know they could move all around the country, sometimes all around Europe. I think Maguire's got to just find a way out. I'd loan him. I don't